All right, good afternoon. I'm a loudish person, so they mic me up. Galina and I are going to talk about innovative financial solutions for climate adaptation. Galina's in Frankfurt with German bankers, very exciting. So she's going to talk for 2 minutes on a video, and then I'm going to speak for 2 minutes.
We are proposing to develop a framework for evaluating the financial appeal of nature-based climate adaptation projects to private financial sector, and to work to develop a list of projects that can be funded by the private sector or private-public partnerships. Climate mitigation projects are receiving a lot of public and private commitments, while adaptation projects receive less attention, but this is not optimal. First, pre-disaster spending is particularly cost-effective, yielding $4 in savings for every dollar spent. Second, nature-based adaptation projects can lower maintenance costs and have additional ecological benefits compared to artificial ones. And third, these adaptation measures will be even more cost-effective if we fail in our climate mitigation efforts. Climate adaptation solutions, especially nature-based ones, are massively underfunded, and it is unlikely that governments will be able to fund all that's necessary at the optimal pace. Mainstream financial markets are largely an untapped resource for nature-based adaptation project funding. The financial sector's main goal is to achieve return on investment, maximizing risk-adjusted returns. We aim to show how nature-based adaptation projects can generate such returns through reduction of uncertainty, savings on disaster recovery, and avoided maintenance costs. We will also create a model for private-public partnerships, where most returns on investment go to private sector participants, while the public sector also gains through ecological benefits. Finally, we will develop a framework that will identify projects suitable for private sector funding. We will use actual data on the effects of climate-related changes on asset values and recovery costs, as well as scenarios of damages with and without nature-based adaptation investment. We will evaluate this for a portfolio of idealized projects and then work with a team of UC experts and others to identify projects for private investors and public-private partnerships.
All right, so I'm going to show you the basis, the science and tools that are going to underlie these kinds of innovative financing. What you're taking a look at here is flooding with and without mangroves, as an example on Grand Bahama Island. So the flooding with mangroves in a 1 in 10-year storm event is in blue, and the additional flooding that would occur if we lost those mangroves is in red. So those are the people and property benefiting from keeping those mangroves in place now. We then can work with the insurance sector to identify the value of these habitats, the economic value of these habitats. And this is an example from Southwest Florida that we worked on with Risk Management Solutions, a leading risk modeler for the insurance industry. And what we show is that mangroves in that area provide really significant protections in terms of avoided damages to people and property in that area. That's all of the areas that you see in red there. The areas in blue, those are the areas where we built in front of mangroves and have increased damages during storm events, and that's exactly what you see in all of the videos from places like Fort Myers Beach and elsewhere. So really tragic. We can take those benefits that we estimate, put that together with cost information for mangrove restoration, and develop return on investment analyses. So we can look, for example, throughout Florida and the Caribbean and identify, for example, in the yellow circles, where there is really significant return on investment for mangrove restoration. 15-to-1 benefit to cost ratios or higher in terms of flood protection alone. We can also model this specifically for certain kinds of habitat restoration actions. Working together with USGS here, following Hurricanes Irma and Maria, we assessed restoration of coral reefs, and the little yellow line that you see off of the coast of San Juan, Puerto Rico there is some idealized reef restoration, and then we estimated the reduction in damages from that restoration. The bars that you see, the top of those bars in blue, that's the avoided damages from that reef restoration. So we can put a very specific economic value on that. I also think that we can do very similar analyses like these throughout the California coast for rocky reef restoration and identify where those could reduce flooding and erosion, providing significant benefits, and the development of new financial tools to invest in this kind of restoration on our coast. So ultimately, we hope to be able to show that we've got the data and tools to be able to estimate these kinds of benefits. There's market need and opportunity. We can put them together to deliver tools that can benefit people and nature. Thank you.